Hey, this is Captain Paul Braley with another week of Texas fishing tips. We're going to start over here right around Bird Island Basin, and we're going to be looking in this deeper water out here in the middle, all through around Big Cove. It has been really hot. I don't expect it to cool down for a while. You're going to be out there a little deeper in the 3.5 to 4.5 foot of water. You're going to be looking for speckled trout and oversized redfish to be running up and down this area. You will be using croakers and or piggy perch on free line on a number 7 cow hook. I would just get out here in the middle, camp out, sit down, wait it out. About every 5 or 10 minutes, you'll get a little flurry of trout that'll come through. Every now and sometimes you might hook up 3 reds at one time, depending on how many baits you have in the water as these pods of fish are moving through here. It is very hot. They are going to kind of stay deep from this point of July all the way through probably the end of August. Also, you can come over here to the backs of all these spoils using live shrimp and or gulps with a 4 horseman popping cork, and you can throw behind all those spoils looking for redfish, black drum, and flounder, possibly a trout if you got live shrimp. On the back sides of those guys, snapping those corks on your windier days. You will find them there. There will be all 3, 4 species there. I'm trying to stay in the deeper water, throwing up a little bit on the flat, in the sand holes, all that area, as long as you're staying off of the island a little bit, all that area is going to be, your 3 foot of water, which is still plenty deep, even though it's hot, to be catching the fish that you need to catch right in there. That would be the report for this particular area. We're going to move a little bit further south from here. All right, moving on a little bit more south. Tides are a little bit low. We're going to be looking in this area here known as Coyote. We're still staying a little bit offshore in the 3 to 4 foot water using number 7 cow hooks, free line, and croakers. You could also get behind some of these little spoils here towards the end, and you could use the popping cork with live shrimp. I love the 4 horseman cork, especially the new one with the titanium wire. All that area there will still be holding trout pretty significant. Right over here, straight in on the west shoreline where these little coves are, you can start looking for redfish to be showing up. The reds should be in packs, little schools, little 15, 20 packs, sometimes scattered out all over the sand back there. I would look for the windier days, and I would be throwing sardines. And you could use cut shad, possibly. If you catch a skipjack, that is your gold. That is your redfish donuts. They love those. I slice them up in little 1-inch rings, hook it through the skin where your hook is exposed. I use the same croaker rig, the free line number 7. I put those things over there on the shoreline, and whammy, catch those redfish. They're definitely there. They're definitely good to catch. You can check out the front sides of all these spoils here using your popping cork and shrimp. You could also stay right off the edge of the intercoastal through here, throw in your croakers. That whole area, with it being basically the funnel where it opens back up, one way or the other way, which way the tide's going, is loaded with fish, and you should be able to do real good in that whole area. I would look to have me limits of reds and some trout and maybe some black drum all through that whole area. It is going to get way better as July goes. Late July is almost a favorite time of mine to fish, and that particular area where that funnel opens up through there should be pure fire. All right, let's talk a little wade fishing. We're going to be looking right here at the Wallow Rocks and this little flat right in here. There's a little cut through right in here and the back side of the Wallow Rocks. You're going to jump off the boat right there with either your favorite pointy tail, which would be Bass Assassin, and or you could carry a box of croakers. You will absolutely smash the trout through this whole area right here. If you jump out with croakers, you will really, really get them. If you jump out with like a purple with the green pointy-tailed darts, the bass assassins, any of the down south lures, the longer, I would say the 4 and 5 inch, any of those type lures, darker colors, you are going to smash the trout through that little area right there. We're going to move over here. We're going to be looking at the tide gauge bar, up and down the bar. If you're on a boat, staying out and fishing the cuts. If you're waiting, you can get right on the bar and walk down the bar and fish all the little grass pockets through there. I would take a bucket of croakers if I was you, pop some trout and a few reds through there. If you want to throw lures, there are plenty of trout through there to catch on lures all year. They're there, but right now especially, there's a lot of fish off the tide gauge bar. Coming over here across to Penascal, this shoreline, Black's Bluffs, all through here, very good trout fishing from the boat on croakers. If you come past the rocks and get in here on the shoreline, lots of redfish to be had this time of year right in there. That whole area can just fire up with reds, trout. Be very careful. Plenty of rocks in there to get in trouble on, so be very, very careful. Your little drifts from the inside the sandbar here back towards the rocks here, using corks, their 4 Horsemen corks and shrimp can work really good for black drum right now. A few reds and lots of trout through that area. Some guys are reporting right now some of the reds are starting to show up back over here in the Yarborough Flat. You could probably pick up a few reds in there, as well as all the way over here towards this side of the middle ground on your southern shoreline of Yarborough. Plenty of good wade fishing through there, throwing croakers on number 7 kell hooks, free line, getting out there, throwing your soft plastics and working it around. These channels here should start holding flounder. All these channels, jumping out the boat, walking through there, looking for a few flatties. There's another little cut right here in this area. You could probably pick up some flatties, as well as a little channel that runs back into the Yarborough Flat to look for the flatties on the edge of that. For the flatties, I'm looking to use a 4-inch white gulp shrimp pattern or the molten shrimp pattern. Anything that has that white flash to it, working it very slowly down those edges and trying to pick up the flounder. If the tide starts to come up, which I don't expect it, but if you get a little higher tides at any point, anywhere around this spoil islands right there is a great wade for redfish. It's much too shallow right now, but if the tide comes up, anywhere around those spoils is a great area for reds. Anyway, that's this week's report. Thanks for listening in. You guys be courteous and catch a bunch of fish.